everyone, it's Laura from Laura's Handcrafted Treats and Treasures. Welcome to or back to my channel. So I thought I would come on today and do a little design team project for Create with Scrimping Mommy over on Ko-fi, Facebook, YouTube. I will link the video where she introduces this. This is a mixed media fun thing that we're doing, challenge, and she provides some digitals so that you can do these. You don't have to use all the stuff. You can just glue and paste and maybe use your colored pencils and stuff. She'll show you what she does, but many other of the creators and artists are posting on her Facebook page, so that's where you can get your inspiration. Anyway, I want to kind of step out of the box. I'm not a mixed media person. I've done a little bit of mixed media before. So mixed media, to my understanding, is anytime you use a digital, you use watercolor, you may use a stencil, you may use paint, you may use different elements within your project that you are creating. And I'm sure the different products are vast. I'm sure they are. One of the ones that I wanted to try today was I've seen people doing modeling paste and they use their stencils, but I don't have modeling paste. And I thought, okay, I found a recipe and I thought I'm going to go ahead and use this recipe to see if I can come up with this modeling paste. It might work for others. Total fail for me. I threw it away. I'm like, no, I'm not using this because I tested it. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go ahead and invest in some modeling paste because I really want to try that. But today, I think to get started, now she provides this, and then she provides another like tear sheet. But I went through my Amanda stash and there was a kit or something we had done a while ago. And I thought, okay, I'm going to use what I have. I'm not going to print any more. So I have these. Mine might look a little bit different, you know, to what she provides. But I'm trying to use up things that I have. So in that theory and in that mindset, here we go. So I've tried to gather enough stuff to think about what I want to do. The stencil, the paint. I bought this a long time ago and I've not used it and I even opened it yet. So that, and I thought, oh, okay, there we go. That's going to be, I'm thinking I might do some splatters with this. Okay, which I've never done. And I bought this to do splatters because I saw someone else who had bought a fan brush and it seemed to work really well for splatters. This is what I'm talking about. Stop buying stuff that you're not using. Anyway, or for me anyhow. So I'm going to go ahead and move these. And now in the first week's challenge, this is week number 2, there were some flowers that came with that one. And I never used them in the first one. So I need to find those and dig them out. I'm not really sure where I stuffed them to possibly use them. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to move this to the side and you can still see it. But the first thing I'm going to do, which I have done before, and I got this really soft little brush, and I don't think I paid a whole lot. It was a store that was going out of business. So I decided to go ahead and grab this. The first thing I'm going to do is a little bit of a watercolor technique that I've done before. So basically, I'm just taking a marker, just kids marker, whatever marker you want to use. And if this is still good, which it is, yep, you can see it. I'm kind of standing up for this one. I normally sit, but I'm standing up. And I'm just going to take my marker and I'm going to go ahead and get a good amount on there. And then usually I would use a spritz bottle, but since I don't have that, I do have a little container of water over here. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my water. And then I'm just going to go ahead and get that, like, work that watercolor, okay? And I don't know that I want it to be super dark, so obviously the more water you add, the more you're going to thin that darkness down. All right, another thing I do have is wet wipes. So what I want to do is, I don't need to do the whole page because there's going to be things over top of it, but I thought I would at least just start with the edges, just to cover up the paper. And I do have plastic all over, like I laid down for my table. So if it's glary, I apologize, but I like to protect my surface. So I really wanted to make sure that was covered too, because in the first one, when I did it, I actually punched the holes after the paper was laid, but I'm not going to do that, you know, every time going forward. Okay, so I think that's enough of the border. And I do have a little bit on the back here, which I'm not worried about. So we're gonna go ahead and let that dry. Actually, I'm gonna get my heat gun, but I'll be back after I get that dried, and then we'll move forward. Okay, in this next part, I'm going to start working with the paper. I also needed to mention that this is actually a cutting board, or a cutting surface that you get from Dollar Tree, but it works great for this type of a project, or even putting paints on and stuff. For $1.25, you get 2 in a pack. Yeah, go get one. So anyway, I'm going to use, I thought about this one. This didn't come from the original kit. I think this is just some writing things that she gave us. I don't remember, but anyhow, yeah, if I remember, I'll mention it. If not, I'm just gonna skip over it because there's just a lot of stuff to remember. All right, so what I think I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna do some ripping. Oop, well, that was the middle that was torn in half, so that'll work. Yep, we'll do that. And then let's rip some here. And then here. And then this is just a memory, We Are Memory Keepers tear rulers. I have 3 of them came in the pack that I bought a long time ago, but this is the one I really like and use a lot. This one would work, but you have to put water on it and stuff, but I might play around with that someday. All right, so I'm gonna do that, and then let's see, this I'm going to lay in here about this far. So I'm just going to kind of lay it where I think I'm going to lay it on the page, and then I'm going to rip in just a little bit, which is fine. You know, how it rips is how it rips. It just gives it more character, in my opinion. All right, so I want to do the same thing with, where did it go? This one. This one, I don't think I'm going to rip this edge. I think I want that to lay flat, but I want to do the same effect on the other side. So I'm just going to lay this down in a flatter surface so I can really grip it. That's the key. Grip, grip, grip. Okay, so I got a nice little torn edge there. And then again, I want to do the same thing for the top. I want to kind of bring it in here. And where do I want this, or do I want this? Since I'm adding flowers, I think I'm going to stick with the top part. So I'm just going to rip a little bit off of that top part. And then again, I'm just gonna kind of set it where I want it. I mean, I suppose I could rip this edge too. I just felt like with the flat edge, but now that I'm looking at it, since I've got it, I don't know, I might rip that too, if I can. So I'm gonna do this one about right here. And then, yeah, I think I wanna rip that. I'm not on a really flat surface, so it's a little bit difficult, but it can be done. Oh, it's just so strenuous. Okay, so now I have that. and that. And I'm wondering if I want to rip that and put another little purple piece down here, or maybe rip both of them and put one on this side, one on this side. And then I was thinking this in the middle. I don't know. I might want to do that. And get this ripped. And then I think this came from Secret Garden, which was one of the, when she, I think, first started doing digitals. And oh, that was a beautiful journal. I did end up selling that one. It was so gorgeous. Okay, so I want this to be about here. And then that's gonna go in the middle. And then all these bits and pieces I'm throwing away because I have been spending time getting rid of bits and pieces that I do not need. Now, of course, I'm gonna ink up all the edges. And then, I don't know, I think I wanna do half and half. Yeah, I think I want to maybe tear this here. Then this could go up here. This could go down here. And then I would rip this one at about here. And then put this one over here. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, I'm glad I decided to go that route. See, as your brain gets working, things will kind of go in different directions. And then I might make this one a little bit shorter. And if I need more, I'll go print more, but I don't think I will. And I like how that kind of sticks out of the top. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get these inked up and get them put down, and then I'll start to build the page, but I'll gesso this as Amanda showed in her video before I start doing the other stuff, because that watercolor will fade. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be back. Okay, so I have my back all finished. Before I do any gesso, I'm going to do a little bit of the splattering. I couldn't remember what Amanda said came first, but so we'll see what happens. And then I'm going to do a little bit of stenciling. But as per her suggestion, I took a picture of this. This is sort of how I want my layout before I move it to do the splattering and the gesso, or the stencil. Excuse me. I think I'm also going to emboss the butterflies. I think also I would like to maybe use the mica powder spray that I learned from Amanda to do all of the flowers. So that's sort of where my brain is going right now. And then this corner, I'm not really sure what I'm going to leave that open for. Maybe some sort of cluster or medallion. I haven't decided. But anyway, that's sort of where we're going. So I'm going to move this off. And as you can see, I've inked up everything. I'm not particularly love the white, stark white colors, so I'm prone to doing that. So I know this is the area that I kind of wanted to do the stenciling. So I'm gonna, because this is gonna be open, I might do some down here too, seeing how that's sort of an open space. So I know in this area definitely, and I'm just gonna use my Highland Heather from Stampin' Up. I know this is probably not the way you're supposed to do it, but it's absolutely the way I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna hold it real tight, and then I'm just gonna pounce up and down. And we'll just see what happens. I'm not going to get too persnickety about it. My Highland Heather is kind of going. I think I bought the refill for this one because it was one that I was using a lot. And I'm not really a purple people eater. I'm not really a purple person, but I was doing Christmas cards, I think, and I was using the Highland Heather, and I don't remember which kit was out, but it was so pretty. I was like, yeah, I'll probably end up using that a lot, and I do find myself grabbing it. Oh yeah, see, that came out. So I'm going to do a little bit more over in this corner, and I might do, yeah, I'm just going to do this corner because a lot of the flowers are going to cover it anyway. So I'm just going to kind of do it like this. I think I'm going to go all the way around. Sometimes I notice, I don't know if anybody else does, but if I have an ink that I have not used in a while, it seems like I have to really work the sponge in there, maybe to get that to move. Although these are, the way they're designed, the ink is supposed to be on the top. But yeah, see, I don't know if it has to be sort of reactivated or like, hey, I'm here, I want to ink. Not really sure, but I notice the harder I press, if I'm doing something like this to get that ink moving, it seems to work better. All right, it's right there. I want to get a spot. I'm going to get down here too. Come on, get in there. Yeah, okay, so I'm happy with that. All right, let me go ahead and get that closed up, get that moved out of my way. These are just makeup sponge brushes, makeup sponge brushes. And I just mark them and keep them in one of these containers that has all the names on them. Because I do have some blending brushes now, but sometimes they're just easier to grab. I used to get them from the Dollar Tree, because they had really nice dense ones, but they don't anymore. They're bad, so I had to get some from Amazon, but they'll last me forever. All right, so now I have decided to use this color. I thought that would make the background pop, so I want to do that before I put anything else on. So I went ahead and got it ready. I just put some in the my little egg containers I recycle, and I just added some water. This is my first time doing this, so I'm looking to see if it is a little thick. I think it's watery enough, but I saw someone else do this, and they used the fan brush. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go get a fan brush, as I said before. And then I did. And this is my first time using it, so let's see what happens. And then they took it and they tapped it on something else. Oh, yeah. Now, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a mixed media artist, but I definitely could see myself getting into this type of stuff, because it's fun. Look at the splatters. I'll put it up close when I don't really need it in the middle. Goodness gracious, girl, use your words. Because that's going to be covered, but yeah, it's just fun. Okay. All right. Yeah, I love that. Okay. So let me bring it up a little bit closer. Do you see the splatters? So fun. I think I just want more, but I'm just not gonna. So I'm so excited because I have already used paper. I've used watercolor. I've used ink stenciling. And I've used the splatter technique for the background. All right, so I'm gonna go get this dry. I'm gonna go back and do what I had talked about earlier, and then I'm gonna come back. See you in a minute. Okay, this is really coming along now. I have everything glued on, except for my statement, my sentiment. I just wanted to come on real quick and show you something that I do often in my journals. I cut around the antennas, or basically cut them off, and then I just add this wire. The wire I used is this. And it's super, super thin. I just cut myself a little piece off, sort of, you know, start that little, you know, antenna curve there. And then I just take a small, whatever little small tool I can find at the time, and I just twist this. I can get it in there. Around here, just to sort of make the antennas. I don't care if they're perfect. I mean, every butterfly probably has different type of little antennas. So then I end up with this, and then I've already gone ahead and started my curve. I've already sort of pinched this in, started my wings curving, and then what I'll do is I'm going to take a piece of and if it's too long, obviously you can just either cut this, and I just cut them with regular wire cutters. You can either cut, you know, this part, or you can cut your top. At this point, it looks a little bit too long, so I might trim my end off a little bit to kind of get it where I want it. Okay, and I think I'm going to curve these a little bit more. Anyhow, you end up with this. And then I just used where did I do with it? I just used some score tape to hook this on the back, but this will also get some art glitter glue. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this one right now. And if you can notice on this one, these were embossed. And so I'm just gonna use some art glitter glue to just know I've secured that, because I actually, it kind of came off the paper and I touched it, and it probably isn't as sticky as it was to begin with. The score tape normally just is fine, is going to be just fine. Okay, so then I'm going to put that right there, and then I'm going to come back with these little glue dots or little pieces. I'm not gonna, sometimes I'll just clip off little pieces, but what I'm gonna do, because I want to have this, the wings continue to stick upwards, I'm just gonna put that little glue dot underneath. Oh. And you wanna get it like up underneath the wings, so I'm just gonna grab a hold of it. You can even put some art glitter glue on that as well. But then I stick that down so that my wing will stay puffy. So I'm gonna finish doing that. I'm going to put my, I think I'm gonna raise these, and I think I'm gonna do a little bit of shadowing around there. Then when I come back, I'm coming back with a final, but just a couple little things I wanted to point out. In fact, I'll get those out of the way. So I ended up using the mica powder spray, and I don't know if you can see it. And at first I just had it on the flowers. And then when I went to put it down, I'm like, nope, she's got to have it too. So I did that, and then also the paper that I'm using that I explained in the other video that I did, I ended up backing another piece because of course it's not like a watercolor paper, it's not as heavy, so it did start to curve in, as you can see, but I'm okay with the way it is now. That helps sturdy it back out, and I'll just kind of work it a little bit. Maybe I'll put it under something, you know, well, I can't now because I got my butterflies on there, but had I not put the butterfly, I could have put this on something and flattened it out for a couple days before I finished it. But anyway, when I come back, I'm going to show you my final product, my final art, mixed media art. And here it is. I'm in love with it. It's so pretty. So just to go over what I did, I used a little bit of stencil. I used some splattering. I might do a little heavier on that next time. I embossed the butterflies and then added some jewelry wire for the antennas. I used the mica powder spray. I've used, let's see, what else? I think that's it. I did gesso. So what I wanted to tell you was, okay, when I first showed this at the beginning, I didn't realize this is white gesso. So I started to do it and I'm like, ah, and it's right in here. You can't see it because I took a wet thing and got rid of it real quick. But then this is a clear gesso. The only thing with this one is when I bought it, this leaves a little bit of a, you know, a rough surface, which I like, and I bought it for a cover of a journal because it made it look leathery and kind of feel really cool. But for this one, I think I really wanted like a clear gesso, so I didn't go back over anything. I did do the bottom layer, but I'm just going to leave as is because, like I said, this has the spray, this has the embossing, and I think it's going to be fine. But I'll definitely invest in the right stuff. Anyway, when I had poured the gesso, something kind of fun. I'm like, well, I can't waste the stuff I already poured out. So I just went ahead and did some cards because this is going to be a future little project that I work on. And I'll probably, hopefully be able to do a video. But I thought, okay, I'll just get me some cards. And, you know, if you do it thin enough, you get, it is a little transparent. But anyway, I didn't want to waste it. And there we have it. So I'm super excited for this and proud of it. And I'm excited for the next one. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this inspirational, and I hope you go grab some paper and make some mixed media. Bye.